created a 360-degree self-supporting projection screen on which 8 separate projectors are counted them, are sending a single synchronized program that breaks up into groups of 1, 2, 4, at times even 8 in front of you, and then dissolves at times into a single continuous image. I first learned about this piece about 3 years ago when we were almost ready to open Prospect 1. Mutual friends got me together with Pawel, who just wanted to talk about New Orleans and the work that he was doing here. And of course, the first thing I wanted to do was try to squeeze it into Prospect, but you weren't even done filming at that time. It was just not going to happen. I finally saw the piece in spring of 2009, late winter 2009, at Mass MoCA in North Adams, Massachusetts, who had commissioned Pawel to come to New Orleans, to South Louisiana, and make this video. At that time, I thought, okay, I've got the first big piece chosen already for the biennial, which by that time we knew was probably going to be another 18 months into the future. So I have to say that this is probably the first work that was chosen for Prospect 2 overall. And for anybody who spent some time in the piece, it's probably pretty obvious why I chose it. What are we looking at, Pawel? What is this? Tell us what this is.
Well, this is a guy from Poland looking at New Orleans. And, that's what he sees. You know, it's a view from an outsider's point of view. When the piece was first shown at Mass MoCA, there was a person who came from New Orleans, and we knew each other from here, and then we faced each other. She had just seen this piece, and then we looked at each other, and there was nothing to say. There were tears in our eyes. Went back to the moving image later on in year 2000. But my idea was always to, like a painter, focuses on some kind of reality, and it's a matter of paying extreme, like a high degree of attention to something that we normally would mostly overlook. So my leading idea in what I do is to look at something that's normally overlooked. And the first time I came to New Orleans was in year 2000.
Okay.
I was crossing the United States with a friend. At that time I was living at a Zen Buddhist monastery.
Oh wow.
And me and this other guy from the monastery, he was certified insane person. He and I went on this trip, and another monk lent us a car. So we ended up, since this was February, we decided to go the southern route. So that's where I ended up in New Orleans. What's going on here? Like, this was so outlandish, you know, the mass psychosis of the Mardi Gras. I was so into it. And I dressed up as a biblical queen with beads and like shawls, and you know, and my friend too. And in any case, for the first time I heard the Rebirth brass band, and I still remember it was an amazing concert, and just like it looked like someone's house, and suddenly they came upstairs playing their instruments, and they played this song, which was, I think, one of the pop songs, like My Favorite Things, or something else, but it was like a recognizable tune, and then they expanded on this theme, and like everybody was enthralled. And then maybe half an hour later, having gone through all kinds of permutations, musically they returned to that theme. It was so like coming home. 2007, the composer I know, Sebastian Courier, he was commissioned to composed a piece about about New Orleans. It was right after Katrina. And so me and him were talking, and I said, what if I did a video to this composition? And that's how we started to work on this below sea level piece.
That's really fantastic. So it was music was the impetus, and then the vision.
Yes, music, and then, but interestingly, Sebastian and I had a parting of the ways, because he composed the music having come to New Orleans once, and his New Orleans was more abstract and more cerebral and more an idea of New Orleans, and mine became more tactile and more, I wanted to feel the texture of the city and actuality of it rather than an idea about it. So I began to come here without Sebastian, and each time I came, I felt like I'm going deeper into what this place is about, and new things, discovering new things and new dimensions to the city. Whereas he composed the music from his head, kind of. So I feel like there was a disconnect between my more kind of realistic idea of the city and his more idealized idea, and so we parted our ways, and I completed the piece with another composer or sound artist, Steven Vitiel. Actually, it was Denise Marconish, the producer. She encouraged me to expand into other areas. Originally, it was mostly the landscape that interested me, and then the human element became very important, and she was instrumental in encouraging me to move towards the human. Otherwise, how did I select the individuals?
Yeah, the individuals, yeah.
Well, you know, this has to be, has to have depth, you know, it has to have holding power, so the camera is, somehow the camera likes this person, and the camera is, it's like a Andy Warhol screen test, or whoever does the screen test, someone could look great in life and the camera doesn't capture that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And someone doesn't look so special, and so, but in this case, I would go by in real life. This person has an amazing face. Or Denise would say, Denise would be like so amazed when we went to the Cajun country. She said, you must film this guy. And then I saw, and he had like this face etched with like life, his lines, and he had a slight beard, and just his face expressed a lot. Like his whole life was in his face, sort of etched in his face, and you can read it like a book. Other people many of them have sad faces, beautiful faces. There's one man from the Forge that had such deep sadness in his face, and his face is so... Anyway, he's in the piece, and his face... I don't know, you could probably write a book about what that face means. It's the image of pain and resignation, and some peacefulness also, you know, there's lots of things. Maybe he's tamed, that person is tamed, and maybe, in any case, everyone has his faces that tell stories. That's why I don't have these people say anything, except Miss Cowell, because they don't need to say anything, and you know.